see how I do. I'm gonna pull this up too because I have some of the games listed and
Oh
my
yeah,
thoughts
I
on them.
forgot about that.
So we'll see. But I guess we'll start big. We'll start with our game. I say our game just because we're two USC fans.
Yeah.
We're rolling with SC. Um, Now forecasts say could be windy, could be rainy. Don't like
hmm
that. Definitely concerns me a little bit.
Running game's gonna have to pick it up a little bit, which
Yes,
I think Marshawn's gonna pick up a
I
lot
would.
on the ground.
The only thing that worries me is stopping the run. That
We
would
gotta
be
stop
my
Estime.
worry. If it's raining though, that means the
He's slipping
DBs
too.
won't have to cover as much because they won't throw it as much. Could be good.
True.
Um, but I think the spread on this. I think Notre Dame is technically favored.
Really?
Yeah, USC is 3-point underdogs. Which
To
means
be neutral.
neutral field. It's a pick
Yeah.
'em. But I
hmm
feel like neutral field in a dome. I think USC wins a shootout. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if Notre Dame can even play in a shootout scenario. Um, I think that Notre Dame they have had a tough 4-game stretch of Ohio State, Duke, Louisville. Now they're gonna cap it off with USC. They've been down to the wire type of games. I guess they kind of got killed by Louisville in the end, but my theory, and I don't know, I could just be like picking the homer side of like I just think they run out of gas
Yeah.
and just in the fourth quarter kind of just Caleb takes over like he typically does and USC wins by 10 to 14 points. That's my thought.
I'm kind of with you on that. Just kind of looking at their schedule breakdown. Like you said, you lose a heartbreaker at home to Ohio State to start that stint. Then you go to Duke. I don't remember what their stadium's called. But you have a hard fought battle. You win that one, and then you just get obliterated by Louisville. Like I watched in the fourth quarter, Louisville was running up the middle and going
Yeah.
untouched to the end zone. So um, I think, like we had talked about last week or last episode, I think what you were talking about, Caleb's going to start running pretty early because he knows this game is big.
Yeah.
And I really think Caleb is going to have more of an effect on the ground to control the game. He's going to do a lot more read options, make sure we're keeping it, little quarterback power.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I could
so
see that.
I see that happening. I see USC taking some timely shots down the field, but I really think is Zachariah Branch healthy?
They're not sure yet. It's a
Okay, game
game
time.
time decision. He's been practicing this week.
I saw that.
So
Okay,
I don't know if he'll play. I don't know when we'll know that. I'm gonna take USC anyway.
yeah,
If he plays, I'm more excited about it. I think he can just change a game for you so quick, especially like there hasn't been since he's been out. They've been no threat on kick return or punt return. Like
yep,
that changes a whole. Like he was almost scoring a touchdown a game just on that alone, or at least setting up one or two touchdowns a game just off of field position itself.
yeah.
So that
Um,
changes a lot.
I'm with you. I think USC in the fourth quarter pulls away. It's either a 10 to 14 point win. I was debating between 14 to 21. I don't think 21 because it is in front of touchdown Jesus, and I think
Yeah.
there's a little effect about
And
that.
I think that if the weather isn't does end
Yes,
up being an issue, it kind of just lends itself to not as many
not as many
points,
points. Yeah,
and you could see a like a 35-24 type
yeah,
of
I can
vibe,
see that.
which I want to say was that the score of the game last year?
Could have
I'm
been
gonna find this out.
because I'm just looking at the stat line for Notre Dame because I mean I haven't really been that impressed with Sam. I think it's Hartman, right?
Yep, Sam
Hartman.
Hartman.
I haven't been impressed with him through this 4 game stint or 3 game
30,
stint. Like,
38-27. So basically, there's your 11-point difference right there. That was last year.
okay, like
38-27. And if we kind of look at it, USC jumps out 10-7, 17-7 at half, 24-14 at the end of the third. It was kind of just always a two-score game the whole way through. Which I
yep,
don't know if I see that necessarily happening. I like it as close the first half, maybe like 3 points in it or a touchdown at the most, and then it kind of turns into a 10 to 14 point win late. Maybe it gets to 7 just because you get like a Notre Dame scores a touchdown with like minute 30 left, do the onside kick, that kind of fluky to make it close type of game.
yeah,
But
yeah, some Mickey Mouse magic late.
I think it's a two. I think late in the fourth, it's SC up by 2 possessions and get one stop and it's over. Now, will they get the stop? I don't know. You never
I
know.
I really think the defense is going to answer the call this week.
I
I
hope
think
so.
they're I hope they're tired of hearing their name. Caleb stood by
Man,
them, which I'm very happy with my quarterback standing behind my defense. But um, man, if we can't cover anybody, just blitz, especially in the rain. Just make the quarterback think
make it
really quick,
difficult.
make it
Yeah.
tough. Like
Stack some guys in
um,
the box, man. Like,
force Hartman to beat you. I mean, I was just looking at his QBR, and I'm going to double check it again just so I don't slander it too far. But right now his QBR is 68.8. So
yeah.
I mean,
Been all right.
for what is this
He's
guy,
been very
27?
game manager type, you
Yeah,
know. Hasn't really been asked to do too much, but hasn't done a lot. Hasn't really like, all right, I'm gonna throw for 400 and we're gonna
yeah.
win this game. Like it's been timely plays, smart plays,
I don't think
never
Notre
like
Dame
a
is built
I'm
to
him,
do
I'm
that.
taking over.
Yeah, I just don't think Notre Dame has a receiving core to just say we're gonna air it out and beat you through the
And
air.
that's why I'll always
Um,
lean towards a team like USC or Washington or Oregon or teams like that where it's like at any given moment they could
just light
throw.
up.
Penix could throw for 400. Nix could throw for 300, run for 100. You know, like Notre Dame just won't do that. It's like
Yeah,
even someone like Michigan or Georgia, which is why in our top 10 we've had them so low. It's like they don't have that offensive equalizer yet. Now they might find it later in the
yeah,
year where you're like, okay, we literally cannot stop Michigan on the run and their play action is too good. But as of now, like the best offenses I've seen are clearly in the Pac-12, and then you throw in a Oklahoma
yep.
or a Texas, and into that mix. LSU has a great offense, but their defense is probably worse than USC's.
That's saying something.
Yeah, that's saying a lot.
But we'll see what happens. We're gonna ride with
Mhm.
the Trojans and kind of see where that's going. Let's kind of drop down to the SEC matchup here.
Okay.
Kentucky, Missouri. It's in Kentucky. Um,
It's a pretty big game just for like SEC East.
SEC,
Like
yeah,
okay, are
standings.
one of you guys gonna try? Like Kentucky's probably already out of the running because now Georgia would have to lose twice. But like Missouri, like, are you gonna give this thing a go? Is someone gonna try and knock Georgia out of the SEC East standings?
Yeah, how do those stand up right now? Like, who has
I'm
a
looking
chance
right now.
to?
So like Missouri's 1-1, obviously, but their one loss is to LSU.
So
Like
that's out. Yeah,
technically,
that's
if
West.
Missouri runs the table and beats Georgia, they're in the SEC championship. So it's like Georgia, Kentucky, Florida, Missouri, Tennessee. That's kind of your group. So like this is the loser of this is basically you're dead in the SEC East, and the winner, I
You got a
would say,
chance.
even if Kentucky wins, it's like they already lost to Georgia, so Georgia would have to lose 2 times, which I don't see likely. So like for Missouri,
Yeah.
it's a huge game because you can stay alive, which is why we both picked them, and because we hate
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Well, we've fallen for the Kentucky, literally the little trinket. They kind of
It's fade Kentucky season forever.
just can't have it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
so
basketball, it's
Missouri are
football.
2.5 point underdogs.
I'll live with 2.5.
Give me the
Yeah,
give me
give me
the
the 2.5.
Tigers, baby. Give me
Yeah,
the Tigers at Kentucky. I don't care. I'm riding with the
Kentucky.
Missouri Tigers.
Yes, sir. So that'll be a good SEC matchup.
Yeah, should be
Uh,
fun.
Going to a pivotal Pac-12 matchup that we talked about in the
Yeah,
last
which one?
episode.
Got
Washington,
2
Oregon.
pivotal. Okay,
We can
we'll
go
go
with
to the big
Washington,
game.
Oregon.
All
We'll go
right.
to the big dog.
This is the biggest
Or you
game
know
of the
what? No, no, no.
weekend.
Let's go down to UCLA, then we can
Yeah,
come
we
back
could,
up. You know what I
or
mean?
we could save it. We'll save that one for the end because it's game
Yeah,
of the
let's say that
weekend.
one.
All
It's a
right.
good one. So we can go down to UCLA, Oregon State, another pivotal Pac-12 matchup. UCLA is from the Pac-12 South, Oregon State from the Pac-12 North, so it's not
But
as large. But I think we talked about there's
technically
no
though,
division
on the
this year, right?
Pac-12, yeah, there's no division.
So it all matters.
So
Okay.
that's why it's just an absolute mix fest. Like, let me read. This is crazy. 7 There are 7 Pac-12 teams that are in the top 20, not just 25.
Yes.
Top 20. Washington 7, Oregon 8, USC 10, Oregon State 15, Utah 16, UCLA 18, Washington State 19. Then you throw in Colorado in there and Shadur. They'll always kind of give a team a game. You throw Arizona in there, who just gave SC a game and gave Washington a decent battle.
Yeah.
You throw Cal in there who just dropped 40 on Oregon State in a 52-40 loss. Like, you got some teams in there that are like, it is an absolute mix fest. I don't know what is gonna happen in this freaking conference, but, like, every game matters so much.
Yeah, it's crazy looking at that, like you said, like, it's a big game for Oregon State and UCLA just to stay in it,
Mhm.
just to stay relevant. I mean, we're both, I believe, going with Oregon State.
Yep.
I think DJ is gonna get the win. I just trust a veteran quarterback over a freshman quarterback. UCLA's defense is phenomenal.
Very
Um,
good.
but it's kind of crazy to say with the Chip Kelly led team that I just don't trust their offense, but
Yeah.
that's just the world we live in right now.
I think their offense will be better in this game simply because they've already gone on the road to Utah.
Mhm.
So, like, they'll at least this is second time around going on the road, it'll be a big game. They'll be a little more settled in, if I had to guess. The reason why I'm leaning Oregon State is, UCLA just had a really big win over Washington State to kinda get them back into Pac-12 relevancy, and I think it's just tough to really it's tough to win 2 tough games back to back, especially when you're playing teams like this every week.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think
but
Corvallis is a pretty tough place to play as well.
yeah, it'll be rocking up there. Shout out my guy, Silas Bolden, running it up for Oregon State, Rancho Cucamonga, legend.
Kind of looking for him to have a big game, actually.
Facts. That's my guy right there. His parents were my track coaches growing up.
Ooh,
Ran with him all my life. So looking for a big game from my boy Silas. Um,
you gonna send him a text before the game? Hey, I picked you. Like, don't fuck
maybe
it up.
might have to get him going.
Yeah,
I'd have to get my guy going. He's been putting on though. I think he scored 2 touchdowns in their game
I think he
when they
did. Yeah,
beat Utah. Yep,
yeah.
he
I think if
did.
I recall, he had a pretty big game.
He caught a 27-yard pass and ran a 45-yard run. So he's been balling out there.
Yeah, I really think. I mean, especially looking at the weather there, 65 and rainy. Um, I think it's gonna be a game on the ground. I like DJ to use his legs a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, I just
Yeah.
see Oregon State pulling off that win.
I think they do. But if you're someone who likes to bet Oregon State,
Three and a
um,
half.
3.5, I would if you took UCLA plus 3.5, I would not say no to you.
Nope.
Say Oregon State wins game-winning field goal, boom, you cover the spread. Bob's your
Understood.
uncle. You know,
Facts.
you're feeling good. So I do think it's a close game. Um, UCLA to win it is tough. If you took the points, I mean, I could ride with you on that though. Well, it should be a good game. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited to watch that one, and then just going up to a little ACC matchup with Miami, North Carolina, at North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Um, we kind of at first we initially had both Miami. Um, then I kind of decided, I'm just gonna rock with the Tar Heels. I know they got who's that wide receiver that is eligible now
Tez
for
Walker, I think.
Tez Walker. Yeah,
Full name Quintez, maybe.
Quintez could be. I didn't do enough research on that. Again, I'm a stooge.
Or
What do you
Don,
expect?
something Tez. They call him Tez though. I know that.
So I'm looking for Tez to kind of come out, have a big game. The Miami team,
Could be dead.
um, yeah, when I heard on the Pat McAfee show today, shout out the boys, um, that the players held a players only meeting this early about that
Yeah.
and said, we don't talk about Georgia Tech ever again. It never existed. Um, I kind of think they're going to spiral now. They went from a
Okay.
team that everyone thought could maybe win a championship and go to the playoffs to now. I mean, if you're calling a players only meeting in week 5, I mean, it's not looking great.
Yeah.
So roll with them.
I'm going the complete opposite. I believe in the players only meeting. It's like
Oh,
remember the Titans. Coaches didn't call this meeting. And then everybody comes in and then they do a little song and dance in the middle. The white guy starts singing and then the black guy starts singing and then they get all hyped. That's what's going to happen. They're going to come out looking
but
for revenge. I think it's good that they can go on the road. They can just go because that game happened at home, right? When they lost.
yep.
Yeah, like just go on the road. Don't have to worry about like getting booed as you're running out the tunnel by your own fans. Like go on the road somewhere. Play they're not horrible. They should have won. I mean, they should be undefeated. So like I'm treating them as if they're an undefeated team. Like the players, I hope the
Are
players still
undefeated.
feel yeah, I hope they still feel like they're undefeated.
Yeah.
Like and have that mentality of, okay, we're going into this game. We still have everything ahead of us. So I'm gonna believe. I'm gonna believe in the U.
Okay. Hey,
Shout out to you, baby.
you you believe in the U.
I
I'm
believe.
believing Mac Brown. I've seen him in these games before.
That's fair.
Man's he
Drake
just
May,
knows.
good QB.
Yep. Drake May's gonna do his thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uh, I think he's gonna get Tez into the game really quick. I expect Hampton to kind of just run the rock, take care of business. 65-degree game at kickoff. No weather supposed to come through, so it should be nice and
Should be a
clear.
perfect day.
Yeah, should be perfect for some
Perfect night, I guess. It
ACC
should be at the
football.
night. Yeah.
Yeah. So that should be a good game. And then for the
Go to
main
game of the
event,
main
the
event.
piece de
Probably
resistance.
we've been saying it, especially when it comes to our rankings. This Washington's our number one team.
A lot of
This has been
rivalries.
our game of the year so far, in our opinion.
Yeah,
Even bigger than Ohio State Notre Dame for us. This was the one. Was hoping they could both get here undefeated, and they did.
they did.
And
They
I
delivered.
am very, very excited about this one. One, well, everyone's like, whoa. Even some of the kids that I coach at the high school, they'd be like, "What are you gonna do when Washington loses to Oregon?" I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll never know because it probably won't happen.
Might happen, might not
Might
happen.
not happen. But if it does, then they're not number one. You think I'm just gonna leave them there? All right,
We're
shitters.
Stooges, but we're not that stupid.
No, but I still think
Got to have respect.
Washington.
I think Washington's number one.
I think they win, man. I think this should be a game. I think I'm picking them straight. If this was in Autzen,
I'd pick
I'd
Oregon.
probably take Oregon. I think this is a home, like whoever was home was going to win this game. Now, I think the best thing Oregon can do is try and silence the crowd as quick as you can.
Yep.
And
Get
how
2
I would
touchdowns on
do
the board.
that, if I win the toss, I'm not deferring. I want the ball. Give me the ball, and let me go score. It'll be a tough drive because it'll be the first drive and everyone's going crazy. But if you go down and score
You'll quiet that
and
crowd
you're
pretty
boom 7-zip, the crowd will be in it still, obviously, but it won't be as bad as if Washington boom 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 score. Now they're going nuts, 3 and out. You got a punt and you're like, wait a second, we're about to be down 2 scores already. Don't do that. You win the toss, go score and just set the tone from the jump.
I'm really excited to finally see Bo Nix versus Penix, bro. This is the matchup we've been waiting for all
Mm-hmm.
year. I mean, this sets up, and I think it's gonna be good for everyone to see how good the quarterbacks are in the Pac-12 this year. Like
Yeah.
there's some fucking dogs in the Pac-12. Like
Oh, this is
they
going to be a
are
treat, man.
good.
For anyone that hasn't been staying up to watch, like no one's probably watched
Yeah,
Oregon since that Colorado game. Probably no one's. I have friends who support Pac-12 teams that say I haven't really watched Washington, and I'm like, so why are you getting on me for putting them at number one when you haven't even freaking watched them all year? So like,
bunch
you
of
get to,
hindsight
of
Harrys.
course, you're gonna watch Michigan and Georgia because they're always on at noon or they're on at 9 a.m. Like, hey, if there's one thing about us, we will stay up until 11 to watch a
Oh
game.
yeah,
We were at the USC game till 11:30. We're about it. We'll watch every single game. So
yeah.
just trust
Oh,
us. All right. It's not
just a
like we're just
little.
making it up. We watched them and we think they're the best. You think Michigan's the best? Okay, whatever. We have them at 2, so it's not like we're just shitting on them.
Well, we want to, but we don't do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
I'd love to give him a people's elbow, just right out of the top 10, but it hasn't happened yet.
Facts.
So those are some
So
good picks. We'll see
yeah,
what
we'll see.
happens. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's going to be a fun weekend.
oh, and
It's going to be a
that's
prime.
just the pinnacle
And
of it,
and what I think is good this week, a few weekends, the few past weekends, like there's been like 3 good games on at the same time, and like we only got 2 TVs at my house, so it's like sometimes the game's missing out. But this week it's like,
They're staggered pretty well.
yeah, like boom, 12:30 Oregon Washington, and there's really the other games are like you could watch A&M Tennessee, boom, that's a second TV type of game, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get to 4:30 and like that's when it'll get a little more stacked. At least you have the UCLA game starting at 5, which staggers it a little bit. But it's like boom, SC on a big TV, Miami, North Carolina on a small TV, and then when one
Then
goes to
back to
halftime,
UCLA.
you go into a UCLA and you do a little boom, boom, boom. flick, 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 click, click, and we're feeling good.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good play right there.